Hey guys, as you may have noticed from my previous video, if you do not see it, go ahead and watch it. But last night there was a hard frost, and I am going to now clean up the garden from the frost because it damaged a lot of my vegetables, and I want to just get out here, harvest what I can harvest, and clean up what I can clean up, and get the bed ready for winter. First up, this is where I did a fall planting, and my spinach, this is all I've gotten out of the spinach. I've had rodents come in, chewing it up, digging all through the soil. I'm wondering if that might last because it's going to be warm this week, so I'm going to leave that in. But this is my radishes, which really didn't do anything. That's another radishes. So they did not grow to anything. There was some beets in here, but literally the squirrels just dug this all up. Like, this was all one flat ground. So this will eventually be put to rest. I will harvest some of this kale. This kale will actually survive colder temperatures. Last year I actually overwintered my kale and they did well. But as you can see, my tomatoes, all my tomatoes have died off. So I'm going to harvest all the tomatoes that are on here. They might not even survive. They look like they've been frozen. Maybe I should make a tomato relish out of these tomatoes since they've all been frozen. It only went down to 1 degree, but it was -1, but it was enough to really freeze these tomatoes. That's frost damage. Unlike last year where I was able to harvest tomatoes into the fall, this time I am not. So I'm going to clean this all up. Super excited. I'm going to put him somewhere in the garden that will still be here. Save this for next year. Something that surprised me with these plants, this is a determinate tomato, and all these tomatoes that I'm harvesting is actually a second wave of these plants putting on growth, and I did not expect this to happen. Another ladybug, guys. I'll show you how great these sprouts are on these tomatoes. They actually went through the bottom of the container into the soil down below. Yeah, that's incredible, which is why they grew so well. This here is where one of my green peppers are, and I decided not to overwinter them this year. This pumpkin is probably still going to change color, and it is not completely dead off, and I've got a few days where it's going to be on it. I'm going to keep my eye on it if it looks like it's showing any sign of doing anything, because it's a bit soft. I might just get this, roast this pumpkin up instead of trying to cure it, because but that's my first. Let's see how many. This one right here. I think all of those off. See if I have no other pumpkins on that side. There's this one. That's this root one. It's rooted itself a few times over. That is actually orange. So this one is actually hard. I can hear this inside. This is the one that is lining up a trellis. So I had a smaller pumpkin that broke off. This one is a smaller pumpkin as well. So this one I'm going to be able to take inside and roast as well. Let's see what it is. Oh, okay. Another baby pumpkin. I'm not going to do anything with that one. Look at my celery. Oh, guys, there's another ladybug in my celery. Last year, I did not see any ladybugs in my garden. But this year, there is. So here's another plant of its own. This one, the tendrils pretty much died off, and it is hardened, and this one is orange and button too, so it can cure. The plant's dead, but the actual pumpkin did not get any damage, which is good. And there's this one. It's rooted into the ground beside the container. And it has so I got myself another small pumpkin. So that's 5 pumpkins, 5 plants. And now I have my celery in here, which all of them are looking good now. So I'm actually the celery is so good. The pumpkins were attached to my oregano, and I think later on I'm going to harvest some oregano as well. Not today. So I'm going to get this all here, and I'm going to put this in a brown bag. I'm going to put all this stuff into a brown bag because all of it could be diseased, and I'm not going to put it in compost. Let's go look at another part of the garden. With being sick, I didn't even have time to take this cucumber trellis down. And I did get 6 jars of cucumbers from pickling jars, as well as I ate many fresh cucumbers from this area alone, so I'm very blessed. There's enough to last me. I have enough pickles probably to last me for a few months. Probably not till next season, but I can't wait till next year. I could probably grow even more, but this served its purpose. So let's get this over the ground. Over here where the beans are, I was hoping to get another growth. I don't know if these, I thought that they are a little wilted, but some of them actually look okay. I'm gonna leave these here just to give them a chance. We are having some warmer weather this week. We'll see what happens. Sugar snap peas, they are all with fruits on them. Are kind of like all wilted, so let's probably them. I will. There's tomatoes in the ground. I was hoping to find out what type of tomatoes these were that were growing in the garden, but I will never know now because I never grew enough to even harvest the seeds. Wouldn't be worth it. Looking at this tomato vine here, the way that this is, I think it was probably a cherry tomato. A lot of volunteer cherry tomatoes were actually grown in this garden. There's another pumpkin. I moved this bucket and I wanted to show you what's going on in my soil. A ladybug. All these wormy things. I don't know what they are. but like they have a skeleton of them. In here alone, I found 3 disgusting slugs. That goes to show you why I have so much slug pressure here. And look at this worm right at the top. Only eat a ladybug and the worm. Yeah, let them go back into the soil. I hate to say it, but I do kill these. Wish I had chickens to feed these to, because I totally would. Princess, help me out in the garden, aren't you, sweetheart? Do you want a strawberry? Let's go get a strawberry. My little garden helper deserves a treat. And I saw this strawberry here. There you go. Good girl. What a good girl. Oh, look at that. You'd think she'd come in here, because this one's just out in the garden here, and eat them, but she doesn't. She lets me pick them for her and give them to her, so I'm looking forward to. I might actually take these strawberries out and put them in the back garden as well, but we will see how that goes. Now, I've been struggling with getting the roots, these off the root systems, but what I found I was doing is if I actually turn, let's see what's under there. Oh, look at the guys. Is that a bad thing for your garden or a good thing for your garden? I don't know. But anyways, the root systems of my tomatoes are going right through the bucket. Isn't that insane? But for this, what I do is pull it out of the ground, but I keep turning the bucket. I don't know if I can show you like this, but I keep turning this and turning the bucket at the same time until it breaks, because I find turning the bucket actually works better than me actually trying to cut it off. So I'll show you, see if I can show you here. I'm gonna put you right here. Oh, sorry. Here's the bucket. I hold onto the actual root and I turn the bucket. Let's see if I can pull it more. And I just keep turning the bucket and holding the tomato plant in place and just keep turning until it breaks, because I'm just not strong enough otherwise. There we go. And I'm going to leave that in place, and I'm going to actually put some leaves on top here to compost all this in place. Make some nice fresh new soil. Okay, I believe I got these pumpkins from my garden. Hey guys, I took an opportunity to take the containers that I had for the carrots. There is still some of the root life in there. And then I did top it with some manure and a little bit of the Pro Mix. The Pro Mix will have some nutrients in it. It also has microbiology. This is a premium organic vegetable and herb mix. And I just topped it with the Pro Mix. I have the compost as a layer, and then I have the other matter from the carrots from before. And these 3 containers are going to be my garlic seed. So I know that last year I did garlic in containers, and I never actually finished the video because, or updated you guys, because all of them, the mulch was too heavy. With the heavy snow on top of it, it compacted and killed off all of the garlic. So I do want to learn from that mistake and only put a light mulch over top of this. I'm going to plant them a little bit deeper this year than I did last year, because I also watched a video that says, like, you want to plant, if you plant it a little bit deeper, it will last in the soil better. I'm going to have it spaced better as well, and I'm not going to grow as much garlic as I did last year, but I am going to try and get some garlic growing for next year's garden. So that is how I've amended these 3 containers for next year's garlic, and I will be finishing filming it tomorrow, and I will be planting out my garlic for 2024. I've cleaned up all of the containers, as well as gotten rid of all the trellising. Now I'm going to go back, and we got just a little bit of daylight left. We lose daylight here before 6 o'clock, and I just want to get in here and get this done while I can. So I'm going to get these tomatoes, all the cherry tomatoes and the other tomatoes. They really took a hit from the frost, and I'm going to take out this here as well. Let's go harvest them for the rest of the cherry tomatoes and bring down this. I'm only going to save the large ones that actually will brighten up. I guess in order for you to actually see anything, you need to be closer to the tomatoes. So let's bring you over here and see if you can actually see. I just smell the basil, so I don't know what the basil beans down here. And actually some more basil. They died off, but they smell amazing. This one, the tops of this basil did not die off. And inside the other container of tomatoes, there's actually some basil as well that was protected by the tomatoes, so they are actually going to probably be okay. Look at the progress I made there. Relish. Green cherry. These cherry tomatoes are completely hurt. All right, the squashes here are definitely done. So I'm gonna pull them out. They're going into the brown waste. This one's actually still trying to put on some flowers. I really enjoyed eating squash flowers this year. Absolutely recommend it. There. All that is down. The tomatoes are down. Oh, cherry tomatoes. Now let's see if we can get to these tomatoes. It's a coil from the ground. And there is my. This one's actually ripening and does not have any frost damage, so I'm definitely going to let that be my last ripening tomato. At least. I smell the basil because the basil down here. Definitely dead. Oh my goodness. It smells so good though, guys. I can smell the basil in here. Oh, I just wish I had harvested the basil in time. I just wish I wasn't sick. Sometimes life happens. Guys, this is one of my other last slicing tomatoes that is ripening and looks beautiful. Next year these cages will be filled with tomatoes. That is the end of that tomato season. And there is my tomatoes. Green tomatoes. Broccoli and cauliflower are probably okay to be in here, so I think I'm just going to wrap this up for tonight, guys. Thank you for putting my tomato beds, tomatoes, and squashes to rest. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to just continue on my journey, go ahead and click the subscribe button and follow along with me. And I want to thank you so much for coming along with me today. Until next time.